Welcome to Connections. I'm your host, April Healy, and today sitting with us is Meredith Thomas, my good friend. She's also the first-year staff, worship leader, mom. And so, hey, Meredith, welcome to Connections. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, as a first-year staff, I know you did school 7 years ago, but as a first-year staff, what is your favorite part, or the thing that's impacted you the most about being a part of the school ministry?
Gosh, the students, of course. It is so fun walking with people through their journey.
Yeah.
And gosh, I've learned so much. People that have been walking with Lord longer than me, or even just walking with the Lord for 2 seconds. And I've just learned so much. I've learned about how to love them and process with them, and even love myself better, because you feel how much the Father loves them so much when you're walking with people and listening to people and giving a different perspective and hearing their perspective, and then you get to feel how much He loves them and causes you to love yourself better.
That's awesome.
The students are just amazing. It is an honor. I can't say it enough. I mean, it's such an honor that they would trust us and trust the Lord for us to lead them, when really some of them have been serving the Lord and walking with Him 20 years ahead of me, and can run circles around me, and it's just amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I love every part of that as well. It's really the best thing.
Yeah.
So you talked to me about how you're going after fear, and even that, like, doing this interview, you were like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And how you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going after fear right now in my life. And so I love that about you. So can you tell us, like, how are you doing that, and some practical things about how to go after fear? Some keys that you've gotten from doing it.
I've really been going after it, pressing in, looking it straight in the face since I started pastoring here. I mean, of course, I've been overcoming stuff here and there over my life, but really going after the things that paralyze me and this kind of stuff. And even when you asked me, like, last week or something, or 2 weeks ago, and when it got canceled, I was like, felt that paralyzing, like, oh, I can't, the immediate thing, I can't do this, but just even the last couple of weeks walking through that, like, God, why is that my first response? And I want to be seen. Like, there's a thing, I don't want to be seen, but He keeps putting me in places to be seen. And of course I want to be seen, because if I'm seen, that the Lord is seen, people need to hear what I have to say, and I need to hear what you have to say. You only have your vocal cords. I only have my vocal cords and my perspective and my heart. And I've really been going after that since I've been a pastor here. And just by getting up and speaking and at school, and man, the first time I knew I'd have to do that when Jen asked me to be a part of it. But then to really have to do it and to face it, of, your body just completely shuts down, and really having to face all the physical things that come with it. Like, I need to either go throw up or do something. But
there's something about speaking in front of people. It's like,
right.
I can do it.
But then getting up there and doing it and feeling His presence, and man, it's just so great and so wonderful. And being around Jen, and how she pastors and how she leads, and watching her conquer her fears, and just, being with other people that are doing the same thing. You could be at 5 years ahead of me conquering fears, but it's so strengthening to be around people that are just conquering their fears as well. And just to sharpen each other, and man, just gotta go do it. I've just gotta go do it. And I mean, it's super simple and hard, but you just have to go face it and do it, and know that He's right there, and He's gonna show up, and now I have victories in it, and the victory afterwards is just joy. And I did that. Me and Jesus, we did that. And there's so much great fruit that comes from it, even in the messes, even in the, like I spoke this year and I felt like it was a total flop and a fail. And I was even excited afterwards, like I got to feel all of that, and walk through that whole process. And I walked through it with you guys. And that's just even beautiful and sharpening and humbling and great. And if Jesus died on the cross, I can do any of this stuff.
That's true.
Good Lord.
That's true.
So,
come on.
Yeah.
And I thought you did well, actually, but I know how you have. We all have our internal. So talking about walking through hard times, I know you sent your son off to college, and which my oldest is 7, so I just can't even imagine what that's gonna feel like. But can you talk to us about like the emotions you had and some of the ways you walked through that would be so hard to let your kids go, So can you tell us about how you navigated that?
As it gets closer, like even their junior year in high school, you're already thinking about that. Okay. And I knew that I didn't want to hold on to him in any way whatsoever. So it comes around, he is a senior and already starting a process, already starting to talk about, I'm not really feeling it. I'm like, he's got to go. I'm just openly talking about with my friends, like, he's got to go. I have to let him go. If I don't let him go, he's not going to be able to, be free. And man, I don't want to hold him back. We are born in our house and our parents raise us and then we take off. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take off. And I don't want to hold him back emotionally. None of it. I want him to go. So then he's getting ready to graduate. I'm doing great. And it hit me, all the emotions of it, probably just a couple weeks before he left. And didn't have a meltdown, but I really was like, oh, this is really happening. This change is happening. I know he's going to come back and, hang out with us and do Christmas and all that good stuff. But emotionally, just every step of the way of, he has to go. He has to leave. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's how I just processed it with my friends and with the Lord. And I really just paid attention to, I asked the Lord to help me pay attention to, if anything, if I'm holding on to him, that would be dysfunctional, that would hurt him in any way. Just help me with that. I don't want to be codependent. I don't want him to be codependent, especially as a young man. And I thought super hard, felt all the emotions and sad and, did I do everything right? Is he ready to go? And no, and no. But the Lord gave me some really cool pictures, and some prophetic people gave me some really cool pictures that knew nothing of him, and that was super helpful.
Oh, that's cool.
Clung to all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's doing great. Oh, he's doing great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's figuring out what he wants to go do and pursuing it. He's getting more and more passionate as he's figuring out what he wants to go do. And and I still have to watch. I got 2 kids coming, a 16 and 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Now ask me this again, because I have 2 sons and a little girl. Ask me this again
in 2 years
when Maya is getting ready to graduate.
In 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Or 5 years.
5 or
she's
6.
13. No, she's 13.
She
turns 13 on Sunday. So ask me this again when my daughter has to leave. Yes. So I can't imagine. So yeah. I'll be in good practice though by then.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So I know that you you have this extravagant, extraordinary amount of hope that you carry, and so how do you grow that when you? I don't know if was that a gift for you, or how do you grow that when it's not there, and how do you hold on to it when it is there?
How do you hold on to it when it is there? Well, I say thank you for that, because people that see stuff on you, you're something like, I don't feel that whatsoever. But then if you look back in my life and just God's faithfulness and what He's taught me, and He did give me a picture one time, I forgot about that, but a few years back, he gave me a picture of putting a stake in the ground, and it's like those banners, like that triangle banner, and you put a stake in the ground over the United States and had hope over it.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think when I saw that, I don't know how many years ago that was, I don't know if I was here at Bethel, but I have been just declaring basically hope over the United States, and just really started, that changed my prayer life then, and then just personally of learning who hope is, you know, and how to walk with Jesus, King of glory, and hope himself, and just clinging to him basically, and receiving him, and a lot of declaring and being obedient, and a lot of declaring
that's
when
really
you don't
good.
feel it, and as being a woman and being a feeler, feeling his presence, feeling things, and feeling all these wonderful emotions that God has given us, and then you have the emotions and hormones. It's a lot, and getting all of that stuff in order, and when you don't feel hope or certain things, it's just the whole declaring thing super important, and being thankful is super important, and just speaking all that stuff out, and everything gets back into alignment, and life is still not perfect, but you know, everything gets back into alignment, your eyes get focused again, and I had just last week, I had a really 2 hard days, and just super frustrated with stuff going on in my life, and I just got really angry, and just that spinning, and so just prayed, declarations, still spinning, and called a couple of people, hey, we praying about this. 2 days later, walked through my day, halfway through the day, I was like, oh, hope just came into the room.
Oh, that's cool.
He's always been there, but I felt hope because everything stopped, and everything just changed. My perspective changed, my attitude changed.
Wow, that's cool.
And the spinning and the angry thoughts completely stopped, and I just clung to that, and worked my way through what I needed to work through. So that's been super cool to walk with him that way.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, Meredith. You always have such good things to say, and I love to hear all about, like, just, man, your brilliance, your who you are, and everything that you're walking through, and all the revelation coming out of you is just so good, and I always love to be a part of that, and a part of your life with that. And so thanks for joining us. You're awesome, always. And guys, thanks for joining us as well, and come back next time. We absolutely love you and love to have you.